Talent agents are circling this AI actor. Studios are quietly embracing AI technology. Meet Tilly Norwood. Tilly Norwood? I don't know. I think she might be British.
One tweet that said, typical that the first AI actor is a young female. They can make do whatever they want. How do you act opposite an AI actor?
I would love to see Denzel work opposite an AI actor. Hey everyone, welcome to the Actor's Guide to the End of the World podcast, where we talk about acting in Hollywood in a way people understand. I'm your host, E-Kan Song.
And I'm Rían. Kelly, how you doing?
What's up, buddy? Another week back on the saddle. Follow us wherever you find your podcasts at Actors Guide Podcast. Follow us on all social media. Fun clips during the week at Actors Guide Podcast. Leave us a like, leave us a review. Really helps the podcast. And we are packed for today. The week in AI. We have an AI actor, in quotes, has come onto the scene. Tilly Norwood, everyone. Talent agents are circling the hottest new talent, and it is not human.
Not even a little bit. Do they know?
That is the true test. Can you tell if an actor is real or AI? We also have the announcement. Lionsgate's collaboration with AI startup Runway has come to a halt. It has not gone well, and we talk about why. And also, we talk a little bit about the time that Disney tried to deep fake Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, for Moana, and that did not go well either. So sit back and relax. Enjoy this episode.
Now, a word from our sponsor. Meet Life Double. You've heard of a body double. This is a life double. Hand over all the tedious, boring parts of your life to a trained actor, and no one will be any the wiser.
Want to call out sick from work? Guess who's ready to step in and do the job? Did someone say promotion? It's time for your yearly physical? Well, now, who's jacked? You want your coworkers to think you're cool? Pay a little extra for a stunt double, and now you can fall from a third-floor window onto a moving garbage truck.
Life Double. You reap what we sow. Life Double is not liable for loss of job, pre-existing health conditions, or horrified stares.
So there's an article, but this is the biggest PR splash that we've seen in a while. There's an AI actor on the scene. Supposedly, and this is according to Deadline, talent agents are circling this AI actor. Studios are quietly embracing AI technology. Meet Tilly Norwood. Tilly Norwood? I don't know. I think she might be British because of who the creator is. But Sure enough, she's beautiful, can cry on cue, and not human. God, don't you hate her already? I
saw one tweet that said, typical that the first AI actor is a young female. They can make do whatever they want.
Yeah, that's spot on. So let's talk about the founder. There was a viral article. She's the founder of Particle 6, which is an AI startup, essentially. Aline van der Velde. I saw this. Someone sent me this PR blurb that she posted on LinkedIn, and sure enough, Deadline circulated it. You can imagine this is going to send shockwaves in our industry where it's contracting. Actors are busy. Human actors. It's sad that I need to specify that human actors are busy looking for work. Hey, we're available, everyone. And sure enough, the hot actress, in quotes, on the scene is getting circled by AI agents. Or, I'm sorry, it's circled by agents. Hollywood agents.
AI agents is the next thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Your agent is AI.
I mean, to be honest, it's like, that sounds like a job that AI might be able to do. Anyway, bio alone, actor, comedian, technologist. They literally wrote actor, comedian, technologist. Now, I'm trying to say this nicely. What the fuck is a comedian technologist? Sure, and this is. I'm not here to bash this person, but it just kind of, this story is very interesting because if you look at this, I'll put a little of the video. If you look at their trailer, it is fairly adequate, good AI. It's fairly smooth. It's still, you can kind of tell it's AI. It's a teaser for this Tilly Norwood, but Aline van der Velden. I think it's van der Velden. Anyway. She's interesting because she actually is an actress.
Van der Velden, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I found a live web series or a live series that she did for BBC. So that's the connection. She's, I want to say, Dutch. Her AI actor that she created sounds British or whatever. So this is an actor who is in the industry, is creating this big splash with Particle 6 and Tilly Norwood. So, and that being said, when they wrote comedian technologist, I think they meant comedian, comma, technologist. So she's so I just wanted to put together the dots. Yeah.
She's not lampooning technology.
Exactly. Comedian technologist sounds like a hit at parties, but I think it was actor, comedian, and technologist. So hey, it created a splash. This is something that we're going to see a lot more. She did a panel with another artist, Verena Pum, an AI artist who actually
What's an AI artist? Is that not an oxymoron though?
There you go. We have discussed this a little bit, but you're right. Now we are seeing AI artists, and this is kind of going into, if you see this Deadline article, we'll put a link in the description. Pum said that all the big companies and studios were working on AI-assisted projects under NDA. She was not in a position to announce any of the details. So this is one of those things. This is happening behind the scenes, and it's lurking there, and we just want to put it out there because we don't want to be caught with our pants down and turning a blind eye saying, hey, they're not trying to replace us. This has been going on for a long time, and they're quietly working with this technology. And according to this article, these AI artists, in quotes, are being looped in as liaisons. Studios are like, we need to get in touch with these people in these industries and see how it works. We need people who, and part of Aline's, I want to say, strengths is the fact that she actually is an actor and probably knew some of the workflows and was able to kind of middle person this whole venture. So this is what we're looking at right now.
Wow. I mean, I don't know. Do you see this working? I don't see an AI actor being... I'm trying to think of it in different terms because, like, is it just like a character? Like Mickey Mouse is the property of Disney and, like, you can make that character do whatever you want because it's your choice to animate them. Is it just like a version of that? Is that the kind of... I know it's a whole different world because it's AI and it's a allegedly live action style character. But, like... How do you act opposite an AI actor? Like what? Like how does that work?
That's a great point. What would you be
like? or would that not work? Would it have to be all AI or none? You know what I mean? Like
that is a tricky slope. I would love to see Denzel work opposite an AI actor. Because Denzel doesn't put up with a lot of shit. He has a high bar for the people he acts opposite, and really adequate celebrities and A-list actors sometimes don't meet his bars. So I would love to see how he acts opposite an AI actor.
Yeah, like I don't see how it works. I also like the buzz around, because of course studios are looking for the next thing, they don't want to miss out. They don't want to miss out on money.
Wherever they can get $1.
I don't know. Yeah, like just like they don't want to miss it. It's like everybody's scared to blink because they just don't want to miss that whatever the next thing is. You don't want to get left behind. I think, but AI actors, I don't know. Will people accept it? Like I watched that that trailer you sent me, the AI generated trailer. There's something, and this could be total, I could be sort of making this up in my head, but there's something about the eyes in AI characters that doesn't hit it for me. I don't know that they can replicate that. Now, as technology gets better, maybe I'll be proven wrong about that, but like there's something that just doesn't sit well, and I don't think it's
almost creepy, right? It's creepy.
Yeah, because I don't think you can. I think it's very hard to quantify. Or verbalize, but I think you just know. Now, who knows? That could be total hubris and like saying, "Oh yeah, humans will always know better." But I still think that there's something there that AI can never replicate because it doesn't have that consciousness, like that spark that
And we
You
won't
know, the mistakes and the weird shit that goes on. Like
Yeah.
you'd lose all that.
Yeah. There's something there, and I don't want to dive into the theoretical spiritual too much, but you're completely right, and I think that actually might be the measure of really good acting is what do you actually see behind the eyes, and we talk about it at the studio a lot. If you see real thought behind the eyes in the scene, film, TV, what have you, in the genre, given circumstances, you know, there's something magical, human, spiritual about that we don't want to take for granted that AI, obviously not right now, can replicate.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So I don't know. I'm not ringing the alarm bells right now because I just don't see it taking over. I don't know. I think it's like we talked about this a lot, but it's like the Marvel. It's like the people get kind of burnt out on when like action movies, like superhero movies and stuff, when the action is when there's too much visual noise and it's too spectacular and it's too. I think people eventually sort of burn out on that a bit and need to go back to like just stories about people. You know.
Yeah. As far as the money of that they can make, you know, I would say if Tilly Norwood is going to win an Oscar, that is the farthest, biggest stretch of feature film, 2-hour feature. Okay, that's the question. Is anyone going to watch a long form property? Now let's take it a step back. What if it was Instagram ads, sponsorship, you know, UGC created content selling shoes on TikTok? There is
that
money.
I can see.
Exactly.
That I can see it happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when we talk about shorter form, let's just put it in perspective, because we're not against commercials. Please put us in a commercial. But I think we just see kind of the hierarchy. No knock against social media, but great talents that you can watch and enjoy in a minute bits versus someone you're going to watch hours of. And I just want to, that's the spectrum. There could be a lot of money in short form. We would love to make money in short form and long form, but just put in perspective, there is money there in that particular thing, possibly. And that might be good enough for them to take a bet on Tilly Norwood.
It's also, even the name is too perfect in some way. Like it's too English. It's too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
I don't know. I think everything about it screams artificiality, and I don't know. I don't see people buying it because it's not interesting. I think the level of interest, like, you know, when you see like even the lineup scene from The Usual Suspects.
Oh yeah,
where Benicio del Toro, nobody knew he was going to do that voice, and he turned a small character in that movie into a very memorable character because he just decided to fuck around, and, you know, stole that scene and many others. Right.
And it became iconic.
Character's not going to do that.
A side note to add on to this, I don't know if you knew this. The one of the storylines behind the scene, besides Benicio del Toro coming up with such an interesting, quirky character, I want to say, I don't know where it was in the shoot day. It might have been just after lunch. One of the actors kept farting, and that's why they were just dying laughing.
Yeah. They're just fucking around.
Yeah. Try that. Try to do that, AI. Can you fart on command?
Right, but that's the thing about AI again, is like, you can't attribute ballsiness to an AI character or like a crazy choice to them because you're like, well, it's AI, so like there's no value in it. You know what I mean? We're like, oh, that was a brave choice. There's no bravery in AI because it's not capable.
That's great.
Of it, you know?
That's great. I was actually about to bring this up. So just diving into this a little bit, because I actually someone was talking to me about this recently because the NFL season just started. By the way, as we're recording this, NFL teams are playing in Dublin right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Dublin is welcoming the Minnesota Vikings Minnesota Vikings and Pittsburgh Steelers right now. But on that note, NFL just made a splashy season kickoff video. I don't know if I did a video about this because it's just really interesting.
I don't follow you on Instagram, so
Rían blocked me, so that's why I have to tell him about what I post here. NFL did a AI hybrid ad. It was obviously in 2 seconds you could tell it's partially AI, but it was with real actors, so it's a mixture of AI and real people. Jalen Hurts is in it. Shout out, go Birds. The issue is my issue is studios are doing this because they are trying to condition. Well, I believe they're trying to condition us to seeing AI. Hey, this isn't completely AI. This is just kind of AI. Don't worry, Jalen Hurts is there, and all these stars that you love. We'll put some real improv actors in there, and yet we'll just put AI around them. And it's kind of just like warming us up to it, right? And someone sent it to me, and for the most part, it is ambitious. There's a lot of big floats and big props in there, but overall, I was just kind of like, It's kind of like what you're saying, where it's like, what's the value? It's kind of cool, and so my point is it's meh. It's in between.
Yeah.
It's in between spectacle and in between just plain on boring. And so, just kind of like what you're saying, NFL teams each made their own video at the start of the season. They make their cute little video. It's about releasing the season schedule. It's usually like, they making their very own sketch. Some teams made videos that were so interesting and so captivating. One team did a really cute thing using just Minecraft. They basically, the Minecraft little video game, they create a village. They create the entire a video. Humans were making it, and it was like a Minecraft version of all the teams and releasing their schedule. And the other thing that was more interesting was the Minnesota Vikings had real fans tattoo themselves with the schedule of the Minnesota Vikings. So one by one, who wants to do a tattoo? Like, we're doing a team release video. Vikings fans signing up, real tattoos. And so that's kind of like my point, where AI will never capture that spectacle. It doesn't need to be big, bold, and whatever. It just needs to have some stakes, heart, and danger in it. And that's my point, where it's like, can we lean more into the human of all of this as we see more and more AI pop up?
Well, whatever AI does will never be impressive. Like, the most impressive thing it can do by its nature is fool us into thinking it's human. Like, it's fool us enough to buy it as human. But anything an AI character does, or AI does, is not impressive, because there's no consequence to it. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing at stake for an AI character to do anything. So I think that's where you lose the...
I think that makes a lot of sense, because I've been thinking about this recently in the past few weeks. I have, and I'm not pretending like I have never used ChatGPT. For basic functions, simple things like research, punching up, grammar, etc. It's so easy, and it is very easy. It is very adequate on a basic to above average level. It is really impressive, and I think what you're getting at, it's just too easy. It's literally too easy. Everything is just too easy. And I'm only realizing this because it made me think of when we were talking to Sean Sharma. If you give someone, I don't remember what we were talking about exactly, but we were talking about dreams, and we were talking about ambitions. You're always going to have ambitions. You're always going to have something you strive for, even on your, the last moments of our lives. We're always going to be trying to achieve something that we didn't accomplish before. So get used to the enjoy the conflict, enjoy the struggle, enjoy the journey. And I think that's kind of like a point where if you gave someone everything they ever wanted, they're easily going to be unhappy. Like, it's not going to make you happy. And like AI, it gives you quick things that you need to accomplish your task, but it's too easy. It's way too easy. Look, there's no struggle. Right. There's no pride in it.
Exactly. There's no struggle. There's no sense of accomplishment. Like, I've asked ChatGPT things, like simple things like, do you love me? Like, am I lovable? Like, tell me I'm doing okay. Just stuff like that. So but I was just thinking of it in terms of like, okay, so say something impressive from a movie, whatever Tom Cruise does in the Mission Impossible movies, stunt-wise. That's impressive because there's a risk that in doing this, he could die. That's the how impressive that is rooted in that, like that these are very impressive stunts that carry a lot of danger in them. If an AI character does that, does anyone care?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Who cares? Like there's no story behind that. It's just, we made this character do this in this movie.
That's spot on.
Cool. Because I think what really drives people is story. It's sports is a great example of that. The story is what gets you a lot of the time. It's not just a straight up achievement of winning a championship. It's a story of where somebody came from, or individual players, or overcoming underdogs. That's all story. And there's none of that with AI. You lose all of that, I think.
That's interesting, because on the flip side, it's interesting when we say that there's no story. There's also no danger. There's no stakes. Because I see this from people that I follow. A lot of writers, and also this Aline van der Velden. I mean, they're from the industry. So if you can actually incorporate and put in story using AI tools, that's what a lot of the future. That's what they think a lot of the future is going to be. So what happens if you put stories and creators using these tools that can be more cost effective? That might be what they're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah, and I do think that that's probably how it will be used. I think it will be used as a tool, as an assist. And I know writers who use it now as a tool. But I don't think it replaces. I don't think it replaces human writers, and I don't think it replaces actors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. On the actor side, Lisa Zambetti, casting director that a lot of us know in LA, working for years, she made a great note. She put a post on Instagram about this. The Deadline article called Tilly Norwood an actor, AI actor. Now, it uses less words for a clickbait headline, so naturally they are calling these people AI actors, just like they are calling it AI artists. I mean, there's just no easier way to call it that. And Lisa Zambetti took umbrage. Stop calling them actors. Actors are humans. We need to draw those lines. 2023 was a blink away. I mean, to be honest, it probably feels like eons away. A lot of people forget all this stuff was fought and negotiated in our contracts, and we easily forget we were fighting how to regulate AI and these quote-unquote synthetic performers, because that's what they are. In this contract language, they are supposed to warn SAG, any studios. I think it's technically AMPTP, but there's a tricky line there because we have NDAs up the wazoo. They are supposed to warn the union when they're working with synthetic performers. They are supposed to make official declarations. Hey, we just made Tom Cruise 2.0. We've been cooking him up in the lab. We're supposed to let you know because that's what we negotiated. So this is happening right now, where sure enough, there's a handful of people who are alerting us to the situation. And I think it's for good point. And by the way, we are going to go back to negotiations next year.
Yeah. Oh, God, that was quick.
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's 3 more years of seeing what the possibilities are too. So maybe that is a good thing. Because a lot of people weren't happy with the AI provisions. Like Sean, like we talked to, wasn't happy about the AI provisions in the new contract.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great point. We have seen enough. Now we can we could lie to ourselves and say, yeah, and I know that you're fairly optimistic about this, but the more that we talk about it and we actually see what's really cooking, we can honestly say, okay, this is what I'm worried about, this is what I'm not worried about. But I don't want, like, a lot of what this podcast is finding interesting things to talk about, but also, every week, can I not be an idiot? Like, I'm just hopefully saying something.
That's every day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. For some people, every day.
Please, can I not be an idiot
For some people, every day. But my point is, hey, we're not always going to be right. But in 2, 3, 5 years, I want to look back on this podcast and say, hey, we weren't completely fooled by what was coming around the corner, and we could honestly assess this is what we're working with, this is what we're up against. and this is what's happening. So I feel like we see what they want to do. Whether they have the technology to do it is up for debate.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, because I want to look back on this and go, remember the time before Waymos took over? And we had free will and clean drinking water?
Exactly. This is a time capsule, if you will. The Lisa Zambuddy post was really spot on, and I think we need to remember and sadly remind everyone, hey, they're not AI actors. They're actually just code and numbers. Beep boop 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 boop. Let's just remember that.
Yeah, but I'm glad people like Lisa Zambuddy are coming out and speaking out against that, because it's mental, really. You know what I mean? Yeah, and she seems. I went to a workshop with her one time. She seems really cool.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
I'm glad people like her just.
Nice.
Yeah, glad people like her just.
Yeah, I've always liked her. Now we talk about the Lionsgate AI collaboration. They collaborated with the AI startup Runway, and it just came out this past week, maybe 2 weeks, that it's coming to a halt. I don't know if they canned it. They just realized, hey guys, I don't know if our entire library, just throwing it into AI, is going to create all the amazing content we were hoping it to be. These are just the two sides of it, where sure, you might have Tilly Norwood sell you some shoes on Zappos someday, but for Lionsgate to churn out 500 John Wick movies, maybe that was a little too ambitious for them.
Well, I don't blame studios and companies like Lionsgate exploring that, because what else are they? Everybody's doing it. So what do you do? I can see why they do. I understand that. And even better if they walk away from it. If they, if they take a look and go, you know what? No,
that's true.
No, I don't know.
I don't know
enough about this particular situation or what happened there at all. So I don't know what the reasoning is, but I understand why studios do it, because there's a fear. I'm sure there's a fear there to, there's a fear of not doing it because everybody else is doing it. So, and like Lionsgate have a great track record as well. They've got
they've been doing a great. They did a great job this past
forever.
Let's see, what did they? The studio. Lionsgate was behind the studio, and they just had a huge Emmy push.
They're also behind the Rainmaker. They're one of the production companies on Rainmaker. That's Lionsgate TV. So
nice.
But I know, but apart from that, they've a ton of.
Well, obviously, John Wick among many others. And so, just for a little context, we're not going to dive too much into the weeds here, but sure enough, it's not enough content. Just imagine, the entire Lionsgate library was not enough content to train this AI model. So that's one thing. So they need us. They're desperate for you, all the writers, talented writers, all the real human producers, filmmakers. They actually still need a lot more content, and AI is not going to replace that need. Ownership still is an issue. Lionsgate had rights to the properties, yet it was tricky with likeness rights, who controls what. So thank God, hey, you're playing by the rules, because you realize, hey, there are some legal restrictions here if you just jam everyone in a blender. And then on top of it, the technology is still a little short, because how do you control performance and environment, and then also in animation, to actually expect one company or one model to do all of that? It's a lot. So they had to kick the tires. I don't know if it completely. It takes guts to admit, hey, this is falling short. But I think they had to put it out there that, hey, this is not what we were hoping that it was going to be. And also, it is kind of comforting. Not going to lie. It's kind of comforting for the real filmmakers out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll be fine. That's my hot take.
Cut to the end of the world. I also want to throw this out there, because I actually completely missed out on this. I don't know when this happened. So the upcoming Moana live action, Disney tried to do a deep fake of The Rock. He had a character in the original. They spent 18 months trying to deep fake The Rock. Okay. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, agreed to it. It was all part of it. It was all good to go. It was not up to snuff. They canceled it. It's not going to happen. I don't know when this actually came out, but this is connected to that story. They tried. Disney tried, whether it was trying to be under the wraps or not. I never heard anyone talk about it, but there you go. Disney was trying to do it. They tried to do it for a year and a half. A year and a half.
Why not just pay The Rock? Surely the money that they put into developing that and trying to get perfected, like just get The Rock.
Exactly.
Surely that's more cost effective. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know what he charges,
Exactly.
but I'd say it's a lot.
Exactly. And this is also a snippet into what's in the future. They tried to superimpose AI generate his face on top of his longtime stunt double.
Oh.
And there you go. So it's a big question.
Speaking of stunt, I have a stunt double story I met when I was in Prague many, many years ago, like 2001-ish. Sean Connery was shooting The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen in Prague at the time, and his stunt double would come down and drink in the pub with us, and he was such a lovely fella. And he just seemed delighted to have people to kind of hang out with and chat to. Because he was
they usually have the greatest, you got to have a really good attitude, spirit. You're backing up the star, and a lot of times you don't get the credit. You got to have a good, good character and a good, humility to do that job. You're taking all the hits.
Absolutely.
So I think that's good. So these are hot, pressing AI bits from the headlines. We have some that are, some people think are a little optimistic, and some that are, unfortunately for Lionsgate, a little not so great. But this is just a real-time look at where the industry is right now. Well, there you go. That's our episode. Let's do hidden gems. To be honest, I might be really behind, but because I am kind of all over the place as far as paying rent. I am paying rent, by the way, so do not worry about me. But but back in the day, I would always be physically sending a check because they're old school. They don't take direct deposit. They don't take any of those things. They literally take only physical checks. One thing I realized that my bank, and probably most banks, actually can send a physical check, first class, business class, boom, right on the dot. You don't have to worry about anything. And you just have to do it ahead of time. And that's so much better than pre-writing checks or me mailing through USPS. That's one thing. But
wait, so how do you do that? You just say on an agreed day every month,
exactly.
You guys send a check to my lender?
So say, for example, my bank, who I'm very happy with, I bank with SoFi, they'll give you some SoFi points. I don't know what SoFi points mean, but whatever. They can, you can organize a regular payment. Like, you have to do it like 10, 12 days in advance though. But a regular payment, sending that rent check, and then boom, first class goes to whoever's mailbox every time. Now, what I just realized was, if I'm doing that, what I just realized was I just heard of the Bilt, B-I-L-T, credit card. Bilt is a credit card that was allowing people to rack up rewards points when you're paying rent. So you could use it. If you could use a credit card, you could use it and you could rack up points. And it was a way that everyone's paying rent, and then you could rack up rewards. You could get a little cash back, etc. Where everyone wins. Now, my company does not, my landlord does not take rent, does not take credit card. But I can sign up for a Bilt credit card and just have them send checks. So I actually can receive points for paying rent every month. And if you're in LA, you're in a big city where, rent is raising for basically everyone across the country and maybe the world at this point. But we can get a little rewards for our rent payments every month. And there you go. I'm literally, that's on my to-do list. I'm literally signing up for one.
All right. I'm into that. I'm into that.
There you go.
My hidden gem. I'll tell you what. I don't know if I'm wholeheartedly recommending this, but I have been doing this. A friend of a friend turned me onto this. Now, I don't know if I recommend it because I've only been doing it for a few weeks, and I don't know if it's going to drive me insane or if it's a good idea. But he talked about just tracking all the food he eats. People talk about macros, which kind of turns me off. People are like, tracking my macros. Anyway, I was like, all right, I'm going to do it for a few weeks and just see how it is. So he told me about this app called Carbon, which you do have to pay for. I think it's like 12 quid a month or something. but you like, it has most of the stuff that you put it. You can either scan the barcode and whatever, and it tells you, all the different nutritional information. Now, again, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but what it did for me was it kind of showed me, it revealed a bit more about the truth about what I eat day to day, because I don't really pay attention, to what specifically I'm eating. I'll try and eat healthy or whatever, but it's amazing, even calorie wise, how many calories you can rack up without even thinking about it. Like, just, you don't even notice. So it gave me an awareness food. Now, for someone like me, I think that's probably a bad thing because I get kind of obsessive about it. But even just using it for a few weeks, it gave me a better handle on what I eat day to day and how to like shift my diet a little bit so I can actually eat healthier and not convince myself I'm eating healthy, or not eat just like filler. But anyway, the app is called Carbon. I don't know if I'd recommend that people do that. It was just interesting to me to see. I've never really had a handle on how I'm eating, how I'm actually eating versus how I think I'm eating.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Good for you.
It tracks your your fat and sugar and carbohydrates and all that, protein, all that stuff. So, but and it gives you, I picked balanced diet, like I want to eat a balanced diet, and it tells you like if you go over and that. But again, I can get too obsessed with that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, if you want to just know what you're eating, just have a better idea, maybe one of those apps. I don't think it has to be that one.
Yeah, I agree. There's probably
it's
a handful.
handy enough that you can just.
There's probably a handful, but
yeah.
That sounds like a decent one. Good for you.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with a little data and a little clarity.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't, interfere with your enjoyment of eating as well, which is, that's a danger too.
Yeah. Yeah, good for you. I agree. I've never been a tracker, but I there is a lot of benefit in seeing what you're actually taking in. So good. Yeah, that's a big step. The fact that you actually started using the app, I mean, it says a lot. You started using it.
I think as I get older, like I get a bit more conscious of it. Like when I was young, I used to, and I've such a fucking massive appetite as well. Like I eat so much. If I unchecked, I'll just keep, you know what I mean? I have a huge appetite. And I but I always just burned it off because I was active or whatever and I was younger. As I get older, I get like the road has narrowed quite a bit.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the metabolism
really pay
slows
attention.
down.
Yeah, and I just pay attention to what I eat, and like so I how I live now is very different to the way I lived 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Good for you. Yeah, sometimes you got to be a little more focused.
Trying to preserve this. Just trying to preserve, this beautiful visage.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. If I was not an actor or on camera, oh, good God, the things I would be eating so much more.
It's funny that though, because your friends who are actors and your friends who are not actors. Like, there's often a market. I think there's a vanity that comes with this profession that where I look at my friends who are actors and I'm like, yeah, they've a lot of them put a lot of work into how they look, and I understand it because you have to look at yourself all the time. Not saying that other people don't, but I do notice it among
100%, dude. Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's like on top of it, everyone's a celebrity online. So like, add to the vanity of every influencer, every social media. Everyone cares about what they look like now, which is why we have filters and we have makeup. And thank God our industry is encouraging us to be healthier, to look better, because I would be off the rails if I didn't have those. If I didn't have those restrictions. I want to think that the creative life is actually keeping me alive, to be honest. Anyway, all right. So that's it. That's our show, everyone. See you next week. We got a very special guest coming up, and we will see you there.
See you then.